Well, thanks for sticking around and covering us. I know it's real late back home, but I appreciate you making the effort. Disappointed, obviously, in the result, but there's a lot of good things I saw out there from our team, and they'll be those will be the building blocks moving forward to get it back on track. I think I'd be remiss if I didn't mention I think that is a good football team. I know it's a good football team. Our guys battled, just wasn't enough. Make it a one-score game there, and then we give up another big play. We're really struggling. Obviously, the master of the obvious here. We're struggling on defense, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Some of them I know, some of them I have to work with our staff to uncover and then fix, but that's what we'll do. Bye week comes at a good time, but bye week alone does not fix our problems. You know, we'll get a little more healthy, but most of our guys that are playing hurt, they won't feel good until the season's over and they get, a month and a half to heal. So, and I don't want to create any Pollyanna situations there. It's the issues we have to get fixed. Regardless of our health situation, regardless of anything, we have to fix them, and that's what we'll do. But there are positives I see out there, and that do encourage me, and that are things that we'll build on. The easy thing would be, guys are playing hurt and all that. We have to fix some things. Somehow we've gotten off track, and the one thing I know is when you find yourself off track, the most dangerous thing to do is try to run back where you try to you got to get off the track, and you got to examine it all, and then you got to go start a new track, and that's what we need to do. And Joe Harasimiak is as good a football coach as I've been around in my career. He's excellent. So it starts with he and I, and then we'll get our staff, and we'll figure out. We'll take hard looks at ourselves and what we're doing and what aren't we doing? How can we help our players more? And, it's a little bit of a pickle because how much do we really want to do with those players that are hurting? At least they can get a week of healing. But we definitely have to do some things to help them more. It was tough. The thing that right into the last play, they played their tail off. There was absolutely zero. But that's not, we're not in it for the good try. We're in it to win the games, and it's a good offense. Absolutely, it's a good offense. They've moved the ball on everybody, scored on everybody. But at the end of the day, our job is to stop them, and we didn't do that.
Greg, any concern about this going off the rails here? If the losing streak can build and the season gets away from it?
No. My job, and I think the reason that I was brought back here is when you build something, the beginning's easy, the middle's really hard. And you lose people in the middle, guys get discouraged in the middle, and that's where we find ourselves right now. We're in the middle. And my job has always been to be able to see what we can and will become. And I know that it's your job to cover the team, and that's what are we today. Now, it's not that I don't look at what we are today. Certainly, that's how I have to make judgments on who to play, how to coach. But I definitely see that this program is going like this. Now, it might not be going like that right now, but it is moving forward. We play in what I think is the best league in college football, so it's not going to be easy jumps. I mean, it's going to be hard to do it, but we'll do it. And I've made that clear. There's absolutely zero doubt in that. Got young players that we got to keep developing. We got some older guys that we got to figure out how to help them do their very best. But there's a lot of good. Like I said, you look out there, and I think our offense is improving. I think we're finding a consistency. I think Ethan really played well. I think it's a shame Kyle got banged up, but look, it hurts. But we got to get back to New Jersey, and we got to get to work and get it back.
You mentioned Kyle. Any concern about that being in the long term?
I hope not. Yeah, you never know this soon after, but we'll know.
Catch was 251 today. Was that USC speed, bad tackling? What was your
Well, a little bit of the same thing from last week. They are very fast. I mean, it is, they're really talented receivers. But, you bust a coverage and give up a 77-yard play. That's a big chunk. And there was, it's not yards after contact, it's yards after catch. So if you don't ever hit them, 77-yard play or whatever it was. And, you can't do that. When you play a good football team and you make a mental error, they expose you. And every once in a while you can get away with it, but, you can't do that. And we paid the price. And unfortunately, we make it 28-20. Kind of every time I felt like momentum was coming our way, we found a way to lose it. We missed the tackle on the kickoff coverage, and the thing busts out. And that's been something that we've been really, really encouraged by. But hats off to them. They did a slight change in their kickoff return, a little different. And when you have a really fast guy like that, one misstep and he's off.
Touchdown. Sorry, 4 trips to the red zone, 1 touchdown. Something missing there. What was missing?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta score touchdowns, right? That's how you win games. It's very hard to win by threes, but I do think, we did score some touchdowns. It's a hard decision there at the end of the half. Do you go for 3? Do you go for 7? I just felt like we had missed the PAT on the touchdown. And it would give us a chance to get some momentum going into the half, knowing that we got the football. Now, we didn't end up scoring when we got the football to open the half, but that's something that you look at as a coach is, you end the half with the ball, you start the half with the ball. So let's get some points, get back on track after the missed extra point. And but retrospect, I sit there and say, maybe you should have, and I'm sure everybody has an opinion, even, players, coaches, everybody. Again, it's decisions you have to make as a head coach, and I look at the big picture and the game as a whole. That's my job, to manage the game, and that's what I thought was best at the time. Retrospectively, maybe it wasn't, but at the time it was, in my opinion.
We were talking about Joe Harrison being a great coach, a guy that's going to lead this defense to where it wants to be, where you want it to be. What gives you the optimism that he's going to do the job that you expect and that the defense will do?
I've seen him do it. Yeah, I've seen him do it at an elite level. Again, when you're accustomed to this, and then all of a sudden you don't have all that, we gotta figure out what we can do now with what we have. Doesn't mean we can't go back to doing some stuff later when we get healthy, and it's. But right now, our job, in my opinion, as I sat there and watched, is we got to figure out exactly what we're able to do effectively now, and then and do that, and then build upon that, as we get more back to what we're accustomed to. But I'll say, make no mistake about it, that's not the way we play, and it's not our formula for winning. So if we can't do that, we're not built right now to have shootouts 42-45, right? I mean, we tried, and yardage, but like you said, we didn't cash in all the time on the touchdowns. But look, I am encouraged. There are things that I do feel very good about that we're going to build on, but we got to get the defense to the levels that are expected here at Rutgers and that we expect. So that's one of the big, but the reality is, and Kirk and I talk about it all the time, the minute you start doing well on one side, you can't get complacent and start thinking, oh, we got this. The minute you think you got it, it's got you. And there is no magic dust called bye week dust. It's what we do with the bye week that's gonna get us going back in the right direction. So that's our job. First, we got to get these kids back home. We got a long flight tonight, and get them healed up as much as we can, and then we'll get back to work on Monday. So thanks for covering us.